afternoon, everyone. I'm Lauren Corby. I oversee strategic partnerships here at Amazon Ads. And I might have to say, I think this is our one refresher from having an AI-focused session. So please enjoy a little bit of humanity. You may have seen on Monday, Amazon announced a new year, exciting slate of our content. Whether you were there in the room, at the Beacon Theater, maybe you streamed it live, or maybe you've just been catching the updates on LinkedIn. Today, we're gonna sit down and we're gonna discuss exactly what it means for all of you here in the room. What we're hoping to do today is help translate what that actually means for you as a Skai-enabled advertiser. So I'm gonna kick it off by asking each of the panelists here to introduce who they are, where they're from, and what their favorite announcement was from Monday.
All right, I'll kick it off. I'm Kara Kramerchuk. I am the lead of the commerce business at Code3, and my favorite part of Upfronts, I made sure none of these folks were going to steal my thunder, was Oprah, if anybody was there. Seeing her walk out of the stage was magical, but in all seriousness, I do think that the content and the broad audience that she attracts is going to be a really unique one for me to take back to my brands, because it is not just apparel, it's soda, it's various types of products that are her favorite things. So I think it's a very approachable type of platform that she's going to enable with her new podcast on Amazon to allow us to weasel our way in and get product surfacing.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And thank you again for having us, Skai, and the entire team at Amazon. I'm Ben Jurist. I'm one of the founding partners at Grain Group, a growth marketing agency based here in New York with focus on brands that work at the intersection of culture and commerce. It was an amazing upfront experience up at the Beacon. My personal highlight was probably Shabuzi singing the Thursday Night Football anthem, which got, I would say, equal crowd response as Oprah walking up on the stage. Really, what more than just the programming in sports and young adult and some of these epic series, the real focus is the depth and breadth of content coming out of Amazon across every single. They're checking the box on every single key demo. It is a content machine, in a marketer's playground. So if you are a brand and you want to reach, again, whether it's young adult, moms, teens, coveted male demos, Amazon seems to have it all.
Yeah. Great. Hi, everyone. I'm Chelsea Sicilione. I work for PepsiCo, and I lead our Amazon marketing commerce business. I was such a fan of Upfronts this year. It was such great content, like everyone just said. I'm super excited to help our iconic brands come to life within the Amazon universe across all of the great launches and announcements that happened. Most importantly for me, I'm excited for the Fourth Wing series. I don't know if anybody else is a fan, but super excited to binge that.
Amazing. As I said, I don't think this is just exciting for us as viewers, which obviously we are all viewers and all humans in this room. But what I want everyone to walk away with is understanding what this really means for you as a brand and as an agency. We announced officially that we have a reach of 300 million homes. And I hope everyone understands that is a very, very large portion of not just the United States, but a global reach. And one of the biggest things I hope we can have everyone walk away with from here is an honest conversation about what it actually means and how you can translate that back when you sit back at your office and you're trying to think, how do I actually reach and not just hyper-focus on performance? So to set a little bit of context here, so many people think of Amazon Ads and they think of us as just a retail media network, and we are certainly that. All of our content that we've talked about, you can also use those retail signals for, so whether that's someone who's browsing, searching, or actually buying on Amazon, and translate that across that reach for these premium channels and these premium content slates. Through Amazon, you can reach, obviously, our first-party inventory, but we also have partnerships with Netflix, Roku, and so holistically, when you're leveraging the Amazon DSP, you're reaching 80% of the US households and a similar amount globally. So as we're starting to think a little bit more about upper funnel for some of these brands, I want to help us understand, what does that actually mean for you as a brand and as an agency? We're going to kick it off with you, Chelsea. Pepsi has been with us on our Upfronts journey since we started 3 years ago. How has your vision of and understanding of Amazon ads evolved over the course of time?
Yeah, absolutely. So Amazon has certainly evolved from a point of sale channel into a full funnel media and measurement partner. And like Lauren mentioned, that's really driven by their rich signals and data that we're able as a brand to optimize towards and measure. And that has fundamentally changed how we understand our consumers, execute our media, and measure true media performance impact. That really helps us gain greater confidence in investing, connecting close discipline between upper funnel and lower funnel investment.
Amazing. And when you think about announcements like the Fourth Wing, what does that really mean for you as a brand?
Yeah, so streaming TV is truly a great channel that allows us, especially within Amazon, to reach our consumers in premium, high-quality environments while still maintaining that line of sight into performance, both on Amazon, but also off Amazon. As Amazon, continues to expand its streaming TV footprint across Prime Video with Thursday Night Football and a lot of the great announcements that we have heard in the past week, as well as like what Lauren mentioned, the select third-party partnerships with Netflix, as well as Fire TV, we're able to reach both Amazon first-party audiences, but also PepsiCo first-party audiences in really premium viewing moments that we know our consumers are at. Additionally, we think the value of streaming TV doesn't just stop at the channel and that reach itself, as we're able to retarget shoppers down that purchase funnel. So we can reach somebody who was viewing, Amazon Thursday Night Football, for example, retarget them with an online video ad, then display, and even reach them with AMC search bid boosting as they're searching for different brands. For us, that again has unlocked that greater confidence in our technology and ability to keep that conversation going. And then of course, it wouldn't be an Amazon panel if I did not plug Amazon Marketing Cloud to measure the different tactics and touch points across all those different channels that really helps us understand what is that driver of performance. And ultimately for us, that unlocks the benefit of streaming TV, not just for reach, but truly as a measurable and intentional driver of growth.
Thank you. I would be remiss if I didn't mention that I'm sitting among royalty up here of Ben with the Full Funnel Excellence Award winner for Amazon ads last night at the...
Thank you. Thank you.
So help us understand, there's been a lot of press lately, like a Ad Exchanger article last week about how brands are really looking at upfronts differently this year, wanting to understand the outcomes beyond just reach. What does that mean for you and your brands in practice?
Sure. So Grain Group works with brands at inflection moments, whether that is scaling beyond the traditional commerce channels that they're in, breaking into retail. Really, we're talking about building the next generation of household names. These brands care deeply, deeply, and have built their business and their discipline all around accountability. And so many of them come to the table and they're skeptical. They say, are we just trusting, in the hope of reach, in brand building? Is there really value in these things? And what has been fantastic about Amazon as a platform, and in the award that we won, is that we actually really see it as sort of the connective tissue. At the end of the day, brands can fight over the demand in sponsored ads. And we've got competitive bid environments and things like that. But the question is, are you building a brand that people care about, that they love, that they're excited about? And can you actually circumvent that entire auction model to create that love, that passion, that desire in advance? What's great about Amazon and really the platforms and AMC is we've been able to bring that same level of accountability to every dollar they spend. We're leveraging video, we're leveraging CTV as the connected tissue, and we're actually able to see the impact down funnel. So our search ads are working better, our display ads are working better, our retargeting is working better. We've been able to see that incrementality is actually generated both when we invest in video, we invest in discovery, we invest in brand love, and it trickles down and makes that bottom of the funnel work that much harder.
I love it. So we've heard from a brand, we've heard from a brand-focused agency, but I'm super excited to have Kara on the panel because when I think of Code 3, I always think of performance and the great results you guys have there. Help me understand what, as a performance agency, as you've been looking at streaming, what does that journey look like for you and your advertisers? And what are really the signals that you're hearing from those advertisers about why streaming may matter now?
I think Upfronts is certainly somewhere that we need to be now to help our brands understand the value of the upper funnel overall. And as I'm speaking with brands, I think everybody in the room can say that there's been times when it's been challenging, either as a brand to advocate for display dollars or for upper funnel dollars, or as an agency partner to really convince a brand that that is what's necessary. And we work with a ton of mid-market to larger brands, and the most success that we've seen is to really, let the performance speak for itself. I'd love to do really small tests and learns to essentially show the value of what upper funnel can do in terms of driving awareness and ultimately then drive your sales. I find that brands are so heavily focused historically on paid search, how it's going to drive immediate sales. So we help them walk that back a bit and to better understand, what is the ultimate goal of the media they're trying to drive, right? Is it awareness? A brand new brand very much needs to invest to be able to be discoverable and invest so that consumers know who they are. That's a very different story than your paid search dollars right now, though it is a very easy conversation to have back with your finance team as to why you should be investing there. But that's the journey we like to take them on, to just help them very much understand their role, the KPIs they should be measuring, and really walk away from always such a focus on sales for every ad type, with that really being the ultimate goal, of course.
So if I am another brand, or if I am a brand who's predominantly looking at performance today, or I'm an agency who's also hyper-focused on performance, how do I have that first conversation?
I like to focus it around, what are you trying to achieve? So are you trying to achieve greater household penetration? Are you a big brand like PepsiCo that is trying to, keep their loyalty bucket just continuing to flow with customers? Very different KPIs that you should be measuring and how you should be measuring your media. I think that's the biggest step change, is helping brands within their organization not only empower them on the story of how to measure, what to measure, but also then enable them to carry that narrative internally so that they can host those conversations with their CFO, with their finance team, who is over the past few years gotten very used to lower funnel advocating for that type of dollar. Now it's a matter of re-education. And really helping the team along that journey and be able to advocate for themselves.
I love it. So something practical for everyone in this room to walk away with. First, I want you to reach out to your Skai reps. I want you to ask about Amazon DSP and understand what your experience can actually look like. Okay, it was a little self-serving. Number two, if you have questions on how you can go deeper with Amazon, whether you want to ask us specific questions about certain types of inventory, or you're just getting started on this journey and you want to understand, how do I actually translate this back as soon as I get home? We are going to be downstairs. I hope everyone saw it as you walked in today at the Reach Hub. It's our Robo Espresso and Coffee Hub, and Cocktail Hub. Right after this, I promise we will caffeinate you. We will give you that espresso to get you through the rest of the afternoon. Or if you want to stop by a little later, after it gets a little darker, we would love to also provide you a cocktail. We're here, there's a bunch of fellow Amazonians with me, and so if it's not just me, I promise we will help get your answers, and we will introduce you to the right folks at Amazon who can really help drive that message. I want to have one last question quick for everyone on the panel, because our time is almost up. What do you wish everyone would walk away with from this room? We'll kick it off with you, Kara.
I would say the upper funnel does not have to be expensive all the time. I think brands are very used to these legacy upfront conversations with other providers or with Amazon, that it's a large Thursday night football buy or a large streaming TV purchase. And every brand needs awareness. And the whole purpose of what Amazon is building is so that that is accessible to all the brands that run across Amazon, not just the ones with the largest pockets. So I'd really encourage small amounts of testing to be able to lean in and let the performance speak for itself.
Great. Ben?
Sure. Again, the cumulative reach of Amazon, the 300 million households, the data that they now have and really understanding consumers, the connected piece of commerce, the graph is an incredibly powerful thing. I would say, to echo some of Kara's comments, you don't need to spend big. This idea of the upfronts being, only for the biggest brands to be able to cut annual deals and reserve your inventory in advance, it doesn't exist anymore, right? This high quality inventory in places that brands want to be is accessible to every single one of you as brand marketers to agencies. What you really need to be thinking about is, where does the accountability lie? How are you going to measure it? Where is the incrementality? How are you leveraging AMC? How are you querying a really complicated data ecosystem to understand, is this working for me? Because what you do not want to do is spray and pray with dollars. It is expensive at the end of the day to make bad decisions. It is expensive to not be able to measure and tell your boards, your CMOs, your CEOs, whether or not this is working. Right? But we believe it fundamentally does work. We have seen it work for brands, but it really takes some discipline.
Yeah, and I would just say, investing in upper funnel or streaming TV really doesn't have to be a leap of faith when we have that performance insight. I think that if we can all change our mindset, and something that's really helped me is that performance marketing now spans from upper funnel down to bottom funnel. So long are the days of throwing something out in the wild and not understanding what that performance impact is. So think of streaming TV, think of those upper funnel tactics the same way that you can think about your bottom funnel tactics. Pair those two together, and that's where the magic really happens.
Amazing. Chelsea, Kara, Ben, thank you. This is the exact conversation I was hoping to have. There's one thing I can also leave you with. I think that Amazon truly does have the best data in order for you to root your decision in. Just think about this. When was the last time you went out and you updated your email address on some of our biggest competitors? When was the last time you updated your address? For me, even when I was getting ready to move, before I had even made the move to my new home, I entered my new address for Amazon to be delivering like the very basic essentials that I needed. Those are huge indicators. Also think about life events that happen and how folks use us for their registry, how they use us to understand holistically like how they want to be interacting with their consumer behavior and what that can mean for you as a marketer for hitting someone during one of those marquee moments that are really hard to understand. So even if you are just like a financial services company where a baby registry might be a great indicator of someone who wants to buy life insurance, we have the data for you. We are not just retail. So again, I hope you walk away thinking about one thing that you can do differently with Amazon. And please, again, go see us down at the Reach Hub. Go get a drink from Full Funnel Frank. And, and we are really looking forward to meeting all of you. Thank you.